Hi, it's Lynn here. I've decided that for my page for the 5 Things and 5 Things Only challenge, I'm going to work with this photo of my husband's grandmother, seen here posing with her twin brothers and a very impressive rocking horse. And this actually was a photo that was in an album that my mother-in-law had, and I literally just grabbed a photo of it on my phone while we were clearing out the room at her room at the rest home after she passed away. And I was literally just grabbing photo albums out of people's arms before they put them in boxes and getting what photos I could on my phone. So first I selected the photo using the marquee tool. Now, I've got to apologise, it's so long since I've done a screen recording. I didn't set my screen up right, so you can't see the toolbar on the right. Anyway, so I created a new 12 by 12 canvas, which I'm going to work on. And I could have just had a plain white background, but I love this paper by Rachel from the Past is Another Country collection. So I decided to go with that and use that as one of my 5 things. Dragged the photo on and resized it using the handles on the corner so it didn't get distorted, and put it roughly where I wanted it to be on the paper. Then, I'll just close that down. And I used watercolour on it because just as a quick fix, and then brightness and contrast. I could have spent a lot more time editing it in Lightroom or whatever, but actually I was quite pleased with that. And it just looked much better than that really, really bright sepia. And I decided to put a stroke on it, set it at 20 and then inside, and then added a shadow. I have my shadow styles saved. Now I'm going to actually lift the photo a bit. So I go to Layer, Create Layer, and that puts the layer shadow onto its own little layer. And then you can use Transform just to really subtly change the shadow just so it kind of looks like it's lifting off the page a little bit more. A little goes a long way, I have to say, when you do that. But it's a really nice little touch. Well, I really like doing it. Now, I can never resist using a mixed media, so I'm going to use this one, which is also from The Past is Another Country, and just put it behind the photo, which is what I nearly always do. And the other thing that I can never resist using, let me just find some, here we go, is thread. So this is also from Past is Another Country. Rachel does amazing curled threads and bits, so I'm going to use that and pop it underneath the photo on top of the mixed media. Now I want some sort of colour to make it pop, so I'm going to grab this banner which is from Before and After, and it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more sort of modern, a little bit. I like that, sometimes the juxtaposition of vintage and then something that's just a bit more modern or artsy or bold or something. And I really just like the way that red and reddy orange sort of pops in particular. So I'll pop that there, but I want something else that kind of echoes those colours. And this little butterfly from Past is Another Country is just perfect for that. So I'm just going to tilt that a little bit and bring it forward, bring it to the front, and pop a shadow onto it. Here you go. Great, I'll just minimize that. Yeah, no, I like that. I think it's unusual, slightly unexpected using that banner. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the colour picker, and apologies again that my screen recording doesn't show where the colour picker is, but it is the syringy tool. So I've actually pulled a colour from the banner, and I'm just going to make a layer up here, and I'm going to go to my fonts. I'm going to go with Attic Antique 24 point. I'm just going to write a title. So that means that I'm not using up one of my 5 things. Ta-da! So text doesn't count. but I'm actually going to make it into a dimensional looking title by rasterizing it. So layer, rasterize, type. And then I'm actually going to add a stroke on that as well. But this stroke is going to be just 10 pixels and it's going to be outside. And then I'll add a shadow to it as well. And there's my little title, which doesn't count because it's not a thing, it's just text. So I've got paper, mixed media, butterfly, thread and banner as my 5 things. So I've got nothing else I can add. So let me see, I'm going to add text. So I'm going to use a type font and typewriter font, and I think I'll use Populaire and 12 points, so not too big. Now I'm actually going to skip forward in my recording and just pop the text there because I always do so many typos and I can't bear for you to watch all my typos. So there you go, I've popped my text there. Now it needs something else in that weird, and it also it does need a date. So I'm going to go and use Telegraphum, which is not a great font. And down here I'm going to put circa 1921, which is my best guess for when it is, judging from the ages they were born. And there you go. I'm actually going to tilt that a little bit, just to add a little bit more kind of, movement, action, vibrancy, not sure what, energy, whatever. Anyway, and I'm also going to put it on multiply. So it sort of looks like it really is stamped or typed onto the paper. So there you go. I'll just move this around a little bit, have a little fiddle, see what I think. Now I like that, but it just needs something, but I've used up all my 5 things. So I'm going to get cheeky again and use type again. So I'm going to go back to Populaire, but this is Populaire Dirty. And I'm just going to put a little M there, an M for Maureen, the name. And I'm just going to move it around, put it on multiply as well. And then I'm going to move this thread just so the thread is kind of pointing at that M. And it's a tiny, tiny little thing, but to me it just balances it more somehow. And there you go.